So we do have a I said this last week, and I'm going to say it again and again and again. When you talk UNC football this year, there are two distinct, separate at times, although they're not fully separate, conversations. There is the tabloid UNC football, and there is the on-field UNC football. Tabloid has been interesting. They're drawing eyeballs. It's made some podcasts, I'm sure, very, very well listened to, and some tweets go viral. Like, it's done all of that. And then there's the football, which the football product has been bad. Okay, so it's so bad that they lost closely to a team that many predicted to be one of the worst in the ACC over the weekend, and it felt like a breath of fresh air. Right? They lost by 1 score to Cal in the middle of the night on Friday night, and it felt like, whew, that could have gone worse, which says something about what the expectations are for that football team. I do have a bit of reporting done on the tabloid side of things that I will update you on. Brian Murphy, WRAL News, which friend of the show, he and Pat Welter have been doing a great job covering every different aspect of UNC. The University of North Carolina was to be paid $250,000 for the docuseries on Belichick and the Tar Heel football program by Hulu. So the fact that it's being canceled means they're not getting $250,000. Everwonder, I believe, was the who the contract was actually with. That was who was producing and doing the documentary, which was contingent upon Bill Belichick's participation. So that is that's a big deal. $250K is one of those things that I don't want to become numb to ever. $250K when you're talking about a $50 million budget, or the coach is making a $10 million and the GM is making 1.5 and all of this revenue share. $250K is a lot of money. So to not let that go through because whatever reason, season's not going the way you wanted, you wouldn't be portrayed the way you wanted, that is a serious conversation. $250K might be the difference between next year having the quarterback you want and not. $250K might be the difference between, being able to, get that offensive guard that you want or not. And that's very important, as we're seeing this year, is having the resources and the funding and everything else to afford the whatever you needed, right? Heck, even if it's just for facilities, which it does appear to be what the money would have been earmarked for. If it goes towards, the practice center, the whatever, that is $250,000 that they don't have to fundraise, and maybe a booster can use to fund a NIL deal, right? One of the biggest misses in the way all of this NIL money is working is, my 2 years in business school before I dropped out to go to comm as my major, communications. It's opportunity cost. It's opportunity cost, right? The people that you used to go to, hey, we need money to build new facilities, are now the same people that are being approached about, hey, we need you to fund this NIL deal. Can you make sure this guy remains happy and stays on campus even if he doesn't get, all the playing time he wanted or whatever? So now, every time you go to those people and ask for money for facilities or ask for money to pay a coach or ask for money to pay a buyout, every time you do that, that might be one less person that can afford to help pay for your roster. So if you get $250K from Everwonder, which was going to make this documentary, and that money goes towards, making the Dean Smith Center better, that's $250K that you don't have to go ask a booster for, and now that booster may be able to take that $250K and help you with your roster. That's what I'm going for. Any money is good money as long as it's like above board, and this would have been above board. And even if the games aren't going the way you wanted, as long as you're handling yourself in a way that you're proud of, who cares if the games you're not winning games, right? If Bill Belichick told us last Monday, everything's going the way they wanted, right? The players are developing. They're getting better. The relationships are being built. Even though they weren't winning, right? The process was working. Well, show us that. $250K. I get if it was 0-0, right? If you weren't bringing any money in and it was just an inconvenience, fine. But if it's $250K, $250,000, I don't know. I'm letting the cameras in. By the way, they lost to Cal, but as I said, it was could have been worse. Could have been worse. Looking at the rest of their schedule, right? Because I did deem it a must-win game, and if they didn't win that one, I don't see them getting to 4 wins, which I think becomes a really. I put 4 wins. Once we established that they were a bad football team, especially a bad power conference football team, I put 4 wins as kind of like a goal for them because most seasons Mac Brown was flirting with 8 wins.
Yeah.
And it was like if they don't get to half that, that's going to be really tough to sell. I mean, if they beat Stanford, who, by the way, they beat Florida State over the weekend, so
they did.
Maybe not the pushover we thought. If they beat Stanford, they get to 3 wins. They'd have to beat one of Virginia, who's ranked. Syracuse, maybe they're looking rough. Wake Forest, Duke, and State to end. That's not. I don't see a lot of wins there.
I don't. Like you said, maybe Stanford.
Maybe Stanford or Syracuse. I think it's a hard ask to hit both. And then beyond that, it's I'm penciling those in as losses. You'd have to surprise me.
So one more win. Let's say they get one more win this season,
Which would be 3.
3-9.
Yikes.
Mac Brown went 6-6 last year. Went 8-4 the year before that, right? 8-5 against the bowl game, but 8 wins the year before that, 9 wins, and was in the ACC championship game the year before that. Now can we scrape together a 3rd win?
What it does is, first of all, bad luck. Like, don't get me wrong, optics.
It's terrible look.
Optics are horrendous.
Awful.
That's there, but I think it emboldens people to be a little bit more heavy-handed with them. Right? Okay, we can't afford to fire you because we gave you this contract. It's a bad contract. This offseason, we better see a big-time quarterback out of the portal. And a good one, too, because you missed on Gio Lopez. You gave him reportedly $2 million.
Turn things over to Bryce Baker.
I actually think you're going to see him the last 4 games.
Last 4 games of the year, I agree.
Maybe the last 5 with the expectation of where you won't play him in the final. You just because then he can get hurt for a game. Like you want all 4 games of Bryce Baker used. And if he plays great, then we've seen coaches save their jobs by going to the rookie quarterback in the NFL, and the rookie quarterback looks good, and then you're like, oh, you don't want to mess up anything in his development. You got to keep me around. Like maybe that's the move, but. If you win 3 games this year, it's no longer like I'm just trusting you that the process is working. You need to show me that the process is working. I need tangible things that the process is working. I need changes on your coaching staff, maybe your front office. I need players coming in. I need things to point to.